بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Welcome to Salam Media, and this is, of course, a special Hajj broadcast. We are in the season of Hajj, subhanallah, 2023, and coming to you live over the various platforms of Salam Media. We're bringing you the scenes, the visuals, the sounds. As us, inshallah, we'll be starting and kickstarting the program by crossing over to Mina, and inshallah, we'll be joined by Dr. Ibrahim, and Dr. Ibrahim will be updating us with regards to what the situation and the feeling is right there in Mina at this point in time, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So, so I'm coming to you from Mina, where Hujjaj are beginning to arrive. The beginning to arrive Mina, the tent city where there's so many people are beginning to arrive. Our group arrived earlier today, and everyone is excited about the opportunity to perform the Hajj and to benefit from the benefit from the to benefit from the opportunity of observing the Hajj and participating in the the activities and spiritual activities that are suited with the Hajj.
Alhamdulillah. Dr. Ibrahim, I'm so happy to have you on the program, subhanallah. And to think that somebody come all the way from Nigeria. And of course, it's people from different parts of the world that are represented at this point in time on Mina. In terms of Nigeria, if you can give us an indication, how many Hujjaj do we have this year from Nigeria?
I'm not so sure, but I imagine it will be tens of thousands. Just thinking about the way that Nigeria tends to organize the Hajj. There's so many different people from across multiple states. Some of them send between 500 plus, some of them probably more. And then there's also the individuals who contract with private agencies, who also, I'm sitting in one tent with the private agency. And in this area, there's maybe about 200, 300 of us uh, who have contracted with different agencies and occupying a number of tents. So I don't know the exact number, but I'll probably put it at maybe tens of thousands of Nigerians who are attending Hajj this year.
Absolutely. Dr. Ibrahim, I also understand that in Nigeria there is a Hajj readiness program where the government would organize all the Hujjaj on one particular place, and they would be prepared for the journey of Hajj. And I believe also it's quite an extensive program that the Hujjaj would undergo prior to departing on this beautiful trip. If you can just tell us a little bit about that particular program.
So the Nigerian government has a Hajj, a board that organizes the Hajj across the entire country, but there's also across different states. So Nigeria has 36 states, and some of these states have very majority populations or have sizable number of Muslims who are residents in those states, and those states tend to then have another a Hajj agency that is state run, and those agencies, or maybe I'll call them pilgrim welfare boards, are responsible for helping to organize the Hajj the for Nigerian pilgrims. And they have this readiness program, as you mentioned, that varies from state to state, and sometimes it involves maybe lectures that help people to understand the the activities that will be required for them as part of the Hajj. It really depends on the states that one is traveling with. It also depends on the agency that one is traveling with. So I, for instance, I'm traveling with one agency where we have had extensive weekly Zoom calls that have helped us to prepare for the Hajj, weekly calls where we have been told about the activities that are involved in Umrah, what will we do while we are at Makkah at the Haram, what does Umrah entail. We also had a number of teachings about what Hajj entails, what where will we be from, on what day, what activities are involved on the 8th, on the 9th, on the 10th of the Hijjah, and afterwards. Well, so basically an extensive teaching of everything that you would expect as part of the Hajj, but also beyond the spiritual and religious activities, there's also a lot of education about the logistical challenges that are required for Hajj. So Hajj is a very physically tasking um, it is it's physically tasking a journey, and so there is a lot of preparation for, a lot of telling people that they need to begin to get fit as best as they can. So we're encouraged to start working as often as possible, bef- weeks before planning to take on the journey of Hajj. But then, and beyond that, is also the encouragement of the vaccines that you have to take, as well as provide the record for that. So it's both the religious aspects of the journey, but also the physical and logistical aspects that you're prepared for. But again, like I said, it really varies from state to state, but also varies from agency to agency that you're traveling with. Thank you.
Dr. Ibrahim, talking about, you mentioned the physical aspect and also the religious and the spiritual aspects of Hajj. Why is it important that we should have this type of preparation prior to going on Hajj?
So the thing is that a lot of people come to Hajj only thinking about the religious activities that are involved,
Yes.
but the reality is that the physical makes it possible to do the religious, right? So if you think about the fact that just yesterday alone, I think my Apple Watch counted that I had walked maybe 14 kilometers, and that's from doing tawaf, from doing sa'i, and then just the general activities that are involved, from walking back and forth, going to the haram, coming back to the hotel, all of that. If someone is not accustomed to walking extensively, 14 kilometers can feel very draining, right? When I completed the Umrah yesterday, Tawaf and Sa'i, I physically felt like that I felt drained. There was I felt dehydrated, and some of these are important aspects that one has to be mentally prepared for, so you don't feel surprised when you have these feelings, but also to help you prepare for it. Make sure you're hydrated before going for the journey. Those preparations are important. But then there's also the spiritual, right? um, in getting ready for Hajj, it makes sense to already know what are the afkar that you're going to be reciting at what point in time. So it makes sense to already know at what point are you encouraged to pray, and what kinds of dua you're encouraged to do. There are periods where from the Sunnah, the Prophet has where the Prophet has told us what dua we should be reciting. There's also opportunities for us to pray for ourselves, pray for our families. There's also opportunities for us to just engage in ibadah. And when you think about all of those put together, one needs to be aware of all of these aspects prior to getting on Hajj, prior to get starting out the journey, to be able to fully and maximally benefit from that opportunity. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Doctor, as you say, this is very important prior to going on Hajj to be prepared and to know that besides the spiritual journey that you will be undertaking, there are also physical aspects to it. And if you are not prepared, it can actually be something that is detrimental to your health and actually end up you not being able to perform your spiritual obligations as it is
Right.
supposed to be performed. Nevertheless, Dr. Ibrahim, it was a great pleasure meeting you and speaking with you live. Alhamdulillah. We make dua that Allah grant you Hajj Mabrur, accepted Hajj,
Amen.
and also
Amen.
that Allah give you the ability to fulfill all your obligations. And when going back to your country as a newborn individual, subhanallah, Allah accept all your, forgive all your shortcomings and sins, and also make it that you can go back as an inspiration to your local community and beyond. Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. Shukran so much for
Amen.
joining us, Dr. Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much for inviting me.
MashaAllah, that was Dr. Ibrahim from Nigeria, and he joined us live from Mina. And of course, this is part of Salam Media, the special Hajj program. And we are heading into the very main days of Hajj, the peak of Hajj. And it is such a feeling that you cannot describe on the part of those who are there presently at this point in time. Let us bring in Maulana Munib Martin, inshallah, and we'll speak with Maulana Munib with regards to his experience at this point in time.